I'm also going to turn on my Do Not Disturb now.
Hello, welcome to Founders Live Center Stage. This is Nick Hughes and Luis Antazana. What's up? Luis, what's going on?
How's it going, Nick? Happy to be here today for a very special edition of Center Stage. We are launching Las Vegas. Finally, it's a good day.
We are launching Las Vegas. We are coming live from Las Vegas. So excited. Well, we are in the cloud. They are in Las Vegas, and we're excited to showcase Founders Live coming out of the Las Vegas, Nevada. But hey, we got an opening show here, man. We got Center Stage. So excited. And hey, viewers, where are you joining us from? If you are seeing this, if you're watching live, feel free to drop in those comments. Where are you joining from? And we are saying hi. Hey, everybody. So please let us know where you're joining from. Say hi, and we would love to hear from you. But Luis, man, you excited for tonight?
I really am. I know we both wanted to be there in person, but we have a city leader down there, Josh Leavitt, who's got things in hand. Tech check went through. We've got a feed. Everything's good. Las Vegas is just born to host Founders Live. It's a Showtime city. Everybody knows how it works. They've got a great venue there. We'll tell you a little bit about that later. And I think everybody's going to be, we're going to see a little bit better of a show for the first time out of a city than we might be used to. I think not everybody is, there will be a lack of stage fright in this town, I think.
I agree. And, again, yeah, like as you said, Vegas, it took us a while to launch in Vegas, but Vegas was made for Founders Live, and Founders Live was made for Vegas, which we're going to learn a little bit more here. And hey, we're excited to walk through this. We got Dixon there. Thanks, Dixon.
Yeah.
Great to see you. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the show. Enjoy this pre-show as well as the actual pitch competition. So the way this is going to work, everyone, just coming out of the gate here, we have a pre-show. What's happening actually in the real venue, people are starting to show up. Founders Live, this is a physical in-person event. So rather than having a camera just sitting there looking at the wall and people showing up and networking, we are here to talk with you and share some information. And then the next hour, the pitches will start. So we hope you can join us and stay with us and enjoy the show. But as we walk through this, Luis, man, so excited, right? This is super excited. This is Center Stage. We occasionally stream our events coming out of random places all over the world. We're all over the world, which I'll touch on in a second. But this is the ultimate entrepreneurial pitch competition. We've been building this for a while, but as the new Founders Live comes, we come out of this pandemic. Founders Live is about inspiration. You'll see it's about education as well, learning about all this great entrepreneurs, the startups and entrepreneurship. And it's really about entertainment. We do that through our global community. We have an ecosystem that spans the world. And then there's also these local community events, as you'll see later on. As we build out this homepage of the modern entrepreneur, bringing them the information that helps them become better entrepreneurs. We have these monthly live events. These things happen all over the world. They happen frequently. They showcase entrepreneurs. You'll see that there's guests. There's 5 startups. Each one has 99 seconds to pitch. There's 4 minutes of Q&A from the audience. People will ask questions. They inquire about more depth of the startup. Then everyone will, including you and I, will vote on which we thought was the best. And then we have a winner that comes out of it. So as we build out this industry defining brand of entrepreneurship, we started in Seattle, Washington, in the United States. That's where I'm from. That's where I started Founders Live. That's where Luis is as well. And we are still expanding around the world. We reach about 93 cities. So we like to say almost 100 cities around the world in 32 countries. Luis, you know, and I know that's going to change in the next couple months for sure.
Yeah. We got a lot of new cities online, several already due to be starting in the next couple months. And I think with what we got coming with Primetime, we're going to get a lot more attention. A lot more people are going to want to have Founders Live in their town. Nick's going to explain how you can do that.
Yeah. And, feel free, Luis, to share that expansion link in those chats there. But we are excited. Hey, Rosario, Argentina. We just had some great conversations recently, and we're set to expand and launch in Rosario coming into the fall. We're not really sure yet when that date is going to happen, but that will be our fourth city in Argentina that has had an event. Some of those cities went quiet, but man, so excited to see that.
Yeah, it is great to have Latin America in the house, South American continent, Argentina. Let's get going.
Let's get going. Hey, if you want to start this in your city or your country, reach out to us. There's the link right there. The link is in the chat. Feel free to fill that out real quick. And hey, just curious, can we talk about it? You may or may not be the one to actually lead the events, but you can help us expand. Hey, and if you want to pitch at an event, you're going to see great pitches tonight from entrepreneurs, founders that are building their companies. Feel free to reach out to us as well. We actually have a form. You fill that out. You choose the city that you would like in your city that you would like to pitch in. Fill it out. We receive it, and we will point you in the right direction. So you'll see that link there in the chat as well. We're going to review these core values that are so fundamental to Founders Live. And man, this is why we're spreading around the world. First one is respectful authenticity. This actually means you being your authentic self, but the flip side of that must be there as well is respecting others in their authentic self, which then results in really about inclusion. And we believe that everyone has an equal opportunity for success. We focus on that. We work towards that within Founders Live. And that is our first core value. So we ask that you respect that. Secondly, gather around the campfire. Hey, we're all storytellers here. We're telling a vision of the future that we want to see in what we are building. So we encourage you to find your campfire, find your community, and entertain people with your vision of the future. That's what Founders Live is all about. The next one is open the door. And this really is about doing great things for people without expecting a return. Make that introduction, help them out with the problem they might be having, help them grow and expand and be more successful. This comes back to you tenfold. Trust me, it's happened in my life. And we just ask our community globally to open doors for others because that's the community that I and we all want to be a part of. The next one in the fourth out of the fifth is business equals fun. We're having fun here. They're having fun there in Vegas. You're going to see that later. We encourage everyone to understand that while you can build business, you can also have fun, and that's the life that we want to live. And the last one is really around climate consciousness. So we commit to operating our business globally in a climate conscious manner, measuring, adjusting, lessening our footprint where we can and where it is possible. And we encourage you to do the same. That's really what the world needs. You can see it all over the place. It's an absolute challenge, and our world depends on it. So we encourage you to take those steps as well. Luis, what out of those core values are gripping you today?
Well, this week for me, the storytelling, gathering around campfire is really hitting. We are spending a lot of time thinking about how we talk about Founders Live, how we speak to founders and gather everybody together in the power of creating community, real community, when we have events like what's going on in Las Vegas tonight, right here, and we'll be able to show you what the room looks like here in a second. People are coming together in a non-serious environment. They're just getting to know each other, and then they're going to listen to what founders have to say, and they're going to find they're going to relate to that. People are going to this is sowing bonds in a community, and that's the campfire we will gather around. So I just think it's such a great process. It has to happen organically. It happens differently in different cities. We're all around the world. Everybody does it slightly differently, but the experience is generally the same. There's so many different ways of doing this, but ultimately it lends to people feeling more connected and understanding each other. I mean, that's awesome. So that's hitting me today as we focus on it internally and witness it externally.
Love it. Love it. Real quick reminder. Hey, if you're watching, feel free to share where you're joining us from. We always like to highlight our viewers and show, hey, it's possibly and most likely not in Vegas and might be another city. So feel free to type in that chat right there. There's a chat. Fill in, share where you're joining from, and we'll splash it on screen there. All right. Yeah. Well, Luis, so excited.
Oh, man.
So excited. So we are going to take a bit of time here, and we're excited to announce and talk about Founders Live Primetime and the Primetime season in 2022, which is our global entrepreneurial celebration. Luis, what do you think? How excited are you about Founders Live Primetime?
Well, Primetime already is so awesome. It's kind of like our bracket, our World Cup. It's the way that we take the city competitions to the next level and have startups compete against each other within their region. We have 5 global regions at Founders Live: North America, Latin America, Africa, Europe, and Asia Pacific. And we have lots of different cities in all of them. And there we came up with this way of like having regional contests where the audience still gets to vote on who participates in those regional contests, and then they vote in the regional contest once we have these events, and then that all culminates with one champion from each region, and they go on to compete in the finals at Live Fest to see who is the global champion of Founders Live. It's a lot of fun, but this year we've added even a little bit more fun that I think really just like turns it up just so awesome. We're so excited to see how the world reacts to this. We think it's going to be big. Nick, do you want to talk about this new development, or where do you want to take this?
Yeah, I want to talk about it, but before we actually talk about this new aspect of Primetime, I would like to just
jump the gun
around. So again, as Luis described, Founders Live is really broken up into 5 regions of the world, and we have events periodically around the year. Okay, tonight is happening in Vegas. Last week was Seattle. We also had, Buenos Aires, Argentina recently. Then we have, London coming up, or, Harare, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. Point is, Founders Live events happen frequently all over the world. The winners that come out of those, we have created a additional tier and really a regional and global competition. So the winners go in to qualify for, we identify the top 5 in the end. It's the 5 startups from each region. So 5 from North America, 5 from Latin America, 5 from Asia Pacific. And we have a Founders Live event. Of course, it's virtual because people are in different parts of the country and the world. But we have a Founders Live event and we have a celebration, and it's awesome. And we have talks and the pitch competition, and people are gathering and coming together, and it's just great. Well, this year, we actually figured out that we wanted to add some more fun in this event. And so we have created the Primetime Pitch Challenge. And what is the Primetime Pitch Challenge? When you look at Primetime Week, is going to be November 14th through the 20th. Well, the thing is, we opened up one of our regions. Since Europe is a bit light right now, we decided to create a wild card event. And how are we going to find the 5 startups for the wildcard event? We chose to open up to the world a virtual pitch challenge that we are now announcing and launching. So what is this pitch challenge? We are challenging you all global founders out there, no matter what country you're in the world. Your challenge is, we are going to line up maybe more, but we're going to aim for 99 founders in each of our regions. So can we get 100 founders in each region? So maybe that's 500 founders around the world. And the challenge here is, can you, as an entrepreneur and founder, can you reach 99 or more people with your vision? So we've created this challenge where we are putting together an opportunity for you all to tell your story, create your 99-second pitch, record it, create a video, submit it to Founders Live, and now if you get accepted, which is just really an application process and you fill it out before the deadline, you're then now in the challenge. We challenge you to reach 99 or 100 or more people with your vision. Why is it that number? We have found that there is like a critical mass of people that if you are able to share your vision, reach with your pitch, they understand and support you, maybe they can then open doors like we talked about earlier in one of our core values. But be able to reach a critical mass of people and educate them on your vision. Maybe they want to be a part of it. Can they help you expand and spread and grow and be successful as a startup? We've determined that the 99, if not 100 person level is the threshold that we encourage you to get to. So that's part of the challenge. The second aspect of this, and this is the important and exciting part, is as these are all oriented into the regions like North America or Asia Pacific or Africa, the startup with the most votes in each region, because we tally up the votes, it's a voting system that you'll see later. The startup in each region with the most votes goes on to be seeded into the Founders Live Wildcard event to compete. There will be 5 founders, 1 from each region, competing during Founders Live Primetime Week in front of a global audience. Luis, what do you think about all that?
It's so exciting. It's so cool. The possibilities are just kind of staggering if it gets big. If it's small, it's amazing. Like just having this open tournament to determine the wild card qualifiers and mixing up our regions into one wild card group that's going to compete against the other regions who are determined by city winners. This is just it just kind of shakes things up and gets my ears pricked up. I love it. It's also, hey, go ahead.
It's a bit different than traditionally we've ran Founders Live. And that's the exciting part, is just saying, hey, why don't we try a little bit new something, which is like, let's open up a bit of a different contest. We have not done a virtual pitch contest before in the sense of opening it up and just kind of having, typically people are pitching in a Founders Live event like you're going to see later. But, we're trying something new and we're excited about it. We have good feelings about it.
Yeah. And, the best part for me is that there's a level of it that's competitive. You're trying to get the most votes. You're trying to advance to compete in the Founders Live Primetime Week. There's going to be one winner, but the whole process is actually non-competitive. It's competing with yourself. It's a challenge to yourself. Can you advocate for your startup? How well do you believe in your startup? How much have you cultivated community? How well can people understand your core idea? The process of going through a Founders Live pitch, whittling everything down to 99 seconds that's compelling, entertaining, convincing, interesting, all that stuff. It takes a little bit of routing your brain in a new way, and it is a good experience for a founder to go through. This is a challenge to founders that asks them, can you do this? Can you communicate to 99 people at least to believe in you enough to vote? And just doing this process is going to help any founder, regardless of whether they finish, last or first, this is just awesome on its own. So there's 2 levels to this. I think that makes it extra special.
Yep. So as you see, 2 levels. We are challenging you to craft your pitch, put it in front of people, spread it around social media, emails, your customer list, your family, your friends. Like, the point here is to get it out. And we've had you condense your message into a 99-second pitch, 1 minute 39, and now you're sharing it out and simply having people view it, clicking vote. There's a vote button. They're supporting you. We stack rank those, and we're going to see who comes out on top. But this is about you all and an opportunity for you to really understand your message, get it out there in front of people, and challenge yourself to get there. All right. So you'll see right there, founderslive.com/primetime. That page has a lot more information on there, how you apply, how you get started. And hey, we're here to answer any questions, but you'll see again, the dates are, you'll see those dates. The challenge is October 17th through November 11th, and applications will actually start on September 15th. So get on there. We take applications until October 14th, the end of the day. All right. We're excited to have you. Please join us. And all this primetime stuff just simply benefits you and your startup.
Yep. I love it. I'm busy typing away here to put some, to post this in comments too. Oh, hey, you got it up there. Here we go.
Awesome. Well, we are excited here, and we are transitioning. Luis. All right. Yes. We got some. All right. So, who are you excited to hear from tonight? This is one of my favorite segments of the Center Stage show, and we highlight startups that you're going to see a little later here in the show at the top of the hour. They're getting started. People are moving and shaking there in Vegas. I'm jealous. Hey, let's pop this on. We're seeing people. Luis, look at that. Look at that. We are seeing, man, people are getting there. That's just someone's back. So who knows?
Well, we have a few camera feeds, so that's good.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we'll remove that. All right. Well, so Luis, as we get going here with the previews for the startups, the first one we're going to talk about here, we have Revonate. And Revonate is revenue automation for remodelers. And, Luis, as we get going here, and I will pull this up, we are going to, why don't you tell us a little bit about the founder and who we're going to hear from here?
All right. I've got a little bit of bio. The founder is, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Paul Hlatky. He is a guy that's had deep experience in the sales industry, optimizing sales processes, helping SaaS founders plan, measure, execute their GTM strategy according to his bio. For those that don't know, GTM is go to market. So this is a guy who's an optimizer, sales industry expertise. He is the typical kind of founder who has who knows his niche super well and has a solution for a problem that he knows his audience really needs. So Revonate is focusing on general contractors and renovations. Just the way that these guys do business. If you've ever worked with a general contractor or like tried to get in that world, you know that they could use a lot of help. So it's any optimizing in this industry is going to be helpful. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Good luck to Paul.
Yeah. So Revonate.co, very interesting. If you take a look at, we're showing their website here, how it works. Take 15 minutes for a call, get a free revenue report, get paid as milestones are completed, use the tools, automate more revenue. Who doesn't want automated revenue? Not me. I want automated revenue. So you can see here that they've got their pricing structure, enterprise coming soon. I guess, my main thought here is, okay, we're seeing high level stuff, automate revenue, great. What is actually maybe some of the details going on here? And I'm sure it will hear that in more of the pitch, and especially the Q&A. That's why, you'll notice now there's a pitch, it's 99 seconds, but people are going to actually raise their hand and say, hey, can you tell what's the process here? And that's probably where they'll go into more detail on that. But really excited to hear the pitch,
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I was just going to make a comment. We do these little startup founder cards that we post on social. And I was just thinking about the one for Paul, and it's never mind. I went through a brain tunnel there.
It's okay, but we're excited. We're excited to hear Paul's pitch, and so awesome. All right, so second founder, man, this is awesome. So we're going through the second founder. We've got Rolo. Rolo is the world's first MicroCRM that seamlessly handles first contact to first meeting. Rolo. All right. So, Luis, take it away with who are we listening to tonight from Rolo?
So Dan Steele is the founder here, a serial entrepreneur specializing in tech ops. This is a guy, he got a start. He was in social media, did a strategy for a child's product, and took it from like 0 to 100 million, huge success. And the big thing there is doing it without spending extra money outside of social media. So that tells me this guy's a scrapper. And I like that, because part of the fun part about doing well in social media is organic and self DIY approach that you don't need this other stuff. You don't need to spend things. If you have the drive and the skills and the will to figure it out yourself and make it work. And he did a lot of success there. He went on to create an influencer marketing company. It says it's the largest one in the world. It's called Influential. Co-founder of that. As a serial entrepreneur will do, he's going to flex into another thing. And clearly, MicroCRM is the thing. I don't know what a MicroCRM is compared to CRM, but maybe we're going to hear what that is in the pitch. Sounds like maybe just like the first stage of getting to know somebody. We'll find out.
Yeah, look at that. A suite of products, including digital business cards, Zoom backgrounds, email signatures, making it a lot easier for people to have those touch points, intelligence to contacts, from handshakes to first meetings. Yeah, it's all, again, it's all in the pitch. We do the previews, but here's why we watch the pitch and we get.
Yeah, it's just a little taster. But speaking of CRMs, look at a engine like Salesforce. That thing is huge. It's kind of bloated. There's a lot to it, and this seems like something super streamlined and simple that people can really jump onto for what the core of what they need. So let's find out during the pitch.
Well, let's find out. So good. All right. Okay, so on to our next one. We have Tego Cyber. So Tego Cyber has developed a threat correlation and threat hunting engine that sits on top of Splunk and other SIEMs, so that security operation teams can respond faster and eradicate threat actors in minutes rather than months. So interesting. So here we go. And Luis, tell us a little bit more about who we are going to hear from context-wise during that pitch.
Yeah, Shannon Wilkinson is the founder here. She, in her bio, likes to say that she loves that old saying, find a job you love and you'll never work another day in your life. Sounds like she loves doing this thing. She's a technologist. But what's cool is what floats her boat is finding new solutions to old problems through technology. And all the side benefits that it offers, effectiveness, growth, new opportunities. She's inspired by the realm in which she works, and she likes to apply that to, solve old problems. I I identify with that a lot as always being a tech nerd. So sounds like she's found a really good niche and found an audience that and a purpose for her security technology. And we all need a lot more of that. It's a very difficult thing. So if somebody's got an easy angle to it, she could be doing quite well.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm just not the expert in cybersecurity, and that tends to be like an industry that starts to get a little hazy, and that's
Very.
okay. And hey, if you're like that too, it's okay. So that's why we have these type of companies. And I'm curious, Tego, the threat intelligence platform, leveraging hunting tools. I think the one thing I know, and some of the companies that actually have pitched at Founders Live previously in this direction, the whole point is you want to find it before it happens. You want tools that, identify or can warn or can protect, right? Put up that firewall or whatnot. So curious to know a little bit more about this threat intelligence platform. Those two words, threat intelligence. So being able to predict or have intel on an incoming threat before it actually ruins or takes down your company. Very, very important stuff. Really curious. Yeah, find out more. You can plug in your email and just go from there. So way cool. Excited to hear about, here's a little about page here before we leave here. But they got a mission, they got vision, they got core values. That's great. Really love to see those values there and all of that. All right, last word, Luis.
Hey, I said what I got to say. I'm ready for Safe Harbor, actually.
All right, let's shift to our next presenter that we are going to see here, and we've got Safe Harbor. Here we go. Safe Harbor. All right, automates pre-order pickup for cannabis customers looking to retrieve their products more conveniently. Their state-compliant electronic locker system uses customer touchscreen inputs to verify ID, order data, and process payment, taking checkout time down to 2 minutes. So here we are. And Luis, let's hear a little bit more about who we're going to hear from here.
All right. So it's funny. Every time we do these founder previews, there's one in the mix that is just has like no SEO. Marta Spegman is the founder here, and she is this week's mystery founder because she's not on. She's hard to find data about at quick glance. Her bio says that she's founder and CEO of Safe Harbor, and then goes on to explain Safe Harbor. So if we read into some of this, maybe she's one of those CEOs where it's not about herself. It's not about her thing. It's about the product and doing the thing for the product. And let's just focus on the work and serve our customers. We'll see what she's like in person. I'm really curious. Even her LinkedIn profile picture, when you download it, it's like a little bit askew and like you got to zoom into it. It looks like it's a picture of a photograph. So Marta's our mystery person. I'm really looking forward to seeing how she presents and learning more about her.
Yeah. This specifically, the cannabis industry just has so much work to do. It needs more tools. It needs more information systems, inventory, security, payment, processing. Is still really nascent, man. And a lot of that's because of the freaking laws, and these like regulations. And I'm not saying that that's, I know that historically that it's very early in the process of getting better regulation in these industries, but they need it. And so when you look at, smart lockers to have, security and all that stuff, dispensaries, being able to utilize their services and tools and all of this, I mean, it's called Safe Harbor. Right. It just like this is well named, I think, because it's having the word safe, especially in this industry, is very, very important. And, so very interesting. Looks like it's a bit of a hardware play at the same time, probably some data and software. So pretty interesting on that. Yeah. So let's see what's going on here. Yeah, look at that. All right.
Well,
So
yeah, an industry like this, like you're saying, where there's all this stuff up in the air, anybody that comes in and enters with a offering more certainty or at least safety, security, in this case, locker, verified ID, all that stuff. That's a good move.
awesome. Look at that. So cool. So cool. Very interesting. And again, the pitch will deliver a little bit more detailed information, understanding their business model, understanding more of how they're going to market, what is their traction at this point. All of that we will hear with that pitch. So we're excited to hear about that. So interesting. So interesting. All right. So our fifth and final startup that we're going to hear from tonight is Hutano. Hutano simplifies communication and collaboration between healthcare providers and their patients, making finding healthcare providers, booking appointments, and storing and sharing documents a breeze. And here we go. Luis, can you share with us a bit more about who we are going to hear from with Hutano?
Yes, Hutano's founder is Ephraim Makuve. He comes from deep healthcare experience. He's surrounded himself with other healthcare experts. Their whole thing is just about making this easy. I like that there's somebody who's in healthcare, whether it's a technology play or whatever they're trying to do, it's always about helping people. And I like that angle in a founder where that guiding light is like, what can we do to make things better for people, better lives, better access to healthcare, all these different things is just improving the world for everyone. And that's a soft spot for me. So that's awesome. He just says it over and over again in the stuff talking about making things easier for people. So I think we've got a helper on our hands here, someone who cares.
Good. Just like, not to say it's the same type of industry, but when you look at the previous industry, then now you look at the one here, which is healthcare, just a lot of regulations, a lot of legacy thinking, legacy systems, the way that paper versus digital and data. So yes, can we make it easier? Healthcare on our terms, on my terms. It says healthcare on your terms. Yes, please. So, in clinic care, virtual care, obviously that's a big one now. On-site care, that's coming to maybe employers on site, or companies, larger companies that can actually come to you versus you going to the clinic. How all this works, very intriguing, but I do think it's tremendous. My quick advice, or just throwing it out there, is healthcare is such a big industry that you can't break off all of it and chew it. So what piece are they as a team, as a startup, trying to make growth and get actual traction? Mm-hmm. How much are they biting off, and what are they chewing? And I think that that's just what we're going to learn about in the pitch. But that would be my concern, is that you're trying to do too much in a large industry and not getting any traction. That happens a lot with a lot of startups. So yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's an entrenched industry. Like, there's so many players, so many things. It is hard to change anything in there. But I think we keep seeing startups bringing healthcare solutions, trying, chipping away at this. It's a big cruise ship to turn around. It doesn't happen quickly.
Big cruise ship. Yeah. All right. My final words here are, love the angle, love the making it easier, curious on how you're doing that, curious on if there's traction at this point. Hopefully we can hear about that more in the pitch. And so very, very excited about that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Luis, we are actually, we have some time here, and I'm excited we're going to shift to hear from one of our partners that we're excited. We're so excited to have in the Founders Live family. We have Radial Development Group, and they are out of the Colorado, actually Denver, Boulder area. and so excited. Hey, we're going to hear from a short video from Radial first, and then we will dive in and talk a little bit more about what they offer.
At Radial Development Group, you will find a collection of experts in a wide range of software engineering disciplines and processes ready to work with you to execute your company's vision. Radial brings together specialists from diverse backgrounds with a broad range of experience. Whether it's development of your mobile app or website, or the embedded software on hardware you are shipping to your users, we're ready to help your team deliver. Coming up with the next big idea is difficult, and we are proud to be able to help. We will support each of the teams pitching with strategic and road mapping services at no cost. Tonight's winner will be entitled to up to 10 hours of Radial's expert advice at no cost, and to a discounted rate for any future work. Radial is ready to engage, to support, and to deliver for you. Connect with us now for a free consultation.
So great. Thanks for the video, Radial. We appreciate it. And hey, little side note.
We love Radial.
We're going to hear from one of our best supporters, actually from their presence today in Vegas. We have Dave. He's representative of Radial. He's actually there right now, and so he's gonna talk a little bit. Yeah, yep.
So Nick, I got to ask on that promo that we just ran. Does it seem to you kind of like an AI like voice or something? Like there's something like, I wonder if they programmed it or had some, use their own technologies to make that happen.
I don't know that exact answer. I know that they did, they got that made and all that. And, they're excited. I think that they're going to make another one here soon and maybe in a slightly different angle, but I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe it is an AI, system, and we'll see. But hey, everyone, Radial Development, radialdevgroup.com. We'll share that in the chat.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that.
Type
and
that up.
When you look and they look, and Dave will say this, maybe he does say it tonight, but he said it just last week when we had him in Seattle. He was visiting here in Seattle and he joined our event there. They're here to help. They're not here to sell. They're here to actually help you move forward with your development challenges. And hey, if there's a project they can take on and actually help build for you, that's great. But they will answer questions. They're here to actually, in that decision mode, point you the right direction. I'll tell you a little quick story, actually. This is kind of crazy, Luis. I don't know if you know this. We had someone in Washington, D.C. after one of our Washington Founders Live DC events. This person reached out to me and said, hey, I don't know what to do. Here's the scenario. I have an app and I had my neighbor who is a developer and my neighbor who's not my neighbor anymore, a little while ago. So like, a year ago or so, this individual said, basically was like, I can build your app for you and charge this person like more than $20,000. And a year later, not delivered in the form, like the thing doesn't even work.
No.
The developer who was the neighbor, they moved, not neighbors anymore, is actually not even really returning this person's calls or requests, basically just to like, what's the deal? And they're charging the person more money to do more development. And it wasn't even to the spec that was agreed upon. It's a sad situation. And I talked with this person and they were like, what do I do? And I literally introduced the individual to Dave and Radial Development Group, and he has taken on this project. And he's literally like, look, I just need it. I want to help this person just move forward, get the code base at no charge. We're literally going to just at least get them in a place where they can feel a little more safe and secure, and then figure out if there's a way to actually save the app. Because right now, basically the code is being held kind of ransom by that individual. And the reason why I tell that story is because these things happen. And number one, it's important who you choose to work with when you're getting your application, your website, your system built. Secondly, it's important to know that there are firms out there like Radial that will actually help you in your time of need. And that's what Radial does, right?
Yeah. And, it's, how do you know that's just not a bunch of BS? Through stories like what you're telling, and through the fact that, like, they want Dave to come and spend time with the founder community, not just in Denver, Boulder area, but in Seattle, in Portland, San Francisco, Las Vegas, Boston. He's been all over just hanging out, talking with founders. It's a legitimate effort to just get to know people and be there and be a resource. So, you got a lot of choices. Who are you going to pick for doing something like that? It's nice to have somebody who's present and part of that.
Yeah, so great. So we appreciate Radial. Thank you so much. You'll probably hear more from them as you watch the event, but we appreciate that. Well, Luis, let's light up the. Here we go. We've got
take a look at the room feeds.
That looks like Vegas.
Looks like Vegas. They got lighting. That's the edge of the stage / beginning of the audience. Wow. So, you know what? Here's an interesting thing. Let's bring this up. As long as, Nick, you might want to show a few different camera angles if there's any good ones there. While I'm looking at this, Josh and Logan sent us a description of this venue. Now, we do venues, all kinds of venues. We've done venues we've had Founders Live in co-working spaces. We've had Founders Live in, like office spaces. We've had it all over the place. This is being held at the Vegas Theater Company. It's received the Best of the City and Valley Theater Awards. It's in the Las Vegas Art District. So it's in the middle of a whole creative hotspot. I haven't been there, but I looked on the map. It's a few blocks from downtown Vegas, so not right next to the Strip. It's more in the heart of like the actual business community. So that just, it's just another perfect thing to have for a Vegas feed, a place that's theatrical. They've got lighting built in, sound, theater style seating versus just, a bunch of chairs or stools or whatever. This is cool. I love seeing this.
Yeah. As I said before, this is the point in time where I'm jealous. I really wish, this is Las Vegas launching Founders Live, and people are gathering, they're having a good time in a theater. You can see a theater seating. It just looks so great. And so we really are excited, and we thank the theater company for hosting the Founders Live event, and really, really appreciative. And there is some history there, and they're for everyone. Look, when you think about Las Vegas, you might think about the Strip, but where they are actually located in the city is more the old, what they call like downtown Las Vegas, or the old Vegas. And so it's off the Strip, and it's more in that area where it's downtown and a lot of these sort of venues and stuff. So yeah, it's awesome to see, and really excited. They're getting ready, and we're getting close here. Go ahead.
This is so for everybody who's tuning in later, just, wondering how this whole thing goes. We're still in the pregame show portion. If we were to just, the event went live at 6 with an hour of networking. This is when people get to know each other, hang out, have drinks. And it's kind of like you're getting a different feel from this event than other business events that might be a little more formal. They've got name tags. Everybody's trying to figure out what to say. You walk into a Founders Live event, you've got purple lighting, you've got, people having fun, mixing it up. There's a different vibe. So as fun as that is to be there in person, if we were just to turn on the camera and let it go, you might not be still watching the show after an hour. And we want to keep you guys, that's what Center Stage pregame is about. We're giving you previews of the startups, which we just did, some news about Founders Live, which we just did, a bunch of other stuff. We're getting close to the stage presentation of the show. The what you're going to see is our city leaders come on stage and tell you about Founders Live. There's Josh giving us the thumbs up. Love it. And they're going to come up there and introduce themselves and welcome the crowd. And we're just going to fade into the background and visit Las Vegas in action. And we're going to see exactly what the audience sees, what's happening on stage. Going to hear from some sponsors, probably a little bit of intro, and then we'll get to the pitches. And then you will have a chance to vote. That's a key thing here with Founders Live. Your vote determines the winner. The audience is going to vote in person. We're going to share a link in the feed. We got a QR code that you can scan. Lots of ways to get access to this, to voting mechanism, and you'll vote for your favorite, and that winner will be the first winner of Founders Live Las Vegas. So that will all kick off probably about 7 o'clock. We'll see how well they wrangle people and keep things on time. I have a feeling that they're gonna bring it. Yeah, we're just trying to peek into here what they're doing. Nick, what you got going next?
Yeah, we brought up this is founderslive.com. You'll see, and this is the events hub. And Luis, why don't you walk us through a bit of this, as well as we just, I thought it was great to bring up, what's coming up next and why people, when you go to founderslive.com, you're able to go and find what's happening. Take a guy like Dave. Dave lives in Denver, Colorado, but he looks and says, oh, all right, what's happening in the next 2 to 4 weeks? And I'm going to travel here. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. And he actually goes to these Founders Live events in person. But Luis, walk us through this.
Sure. So, there we go. Thank you. This is our event hub. This is where you can find all our events. We have 3 kinds of events. We've got city events, and that happens in, like Nick said, we're right about 93 cities around the world. We're going to hit that 100 really soon. Those are local in-person events. Now, some of those events might be also simulcast on or might be live streamed. We call them hybrid events. Most of the time, our hybrid event is center stage. That is what you're watching right now. That is our focused event where we have an in-person experience. We stream it to the whole world. We go to a different location every single time. We have Las Vegas tonight. We're going to have a couple more as we hit prime time. We're trying to figure out exactly which cities are going to be the best ones to do. We have some ideas, but when we have that, you can find it right there at our founderslive.com/events. You'll find it there, direct links to those event listings where you can watch them. Then the third kind of event we have is prime time, and that is fully virtual. That's online. That's in November. As we described earlier, there's a whole structure to this thing. And you can find out more about primetime at founderslive.com/primetime. But the event listings are here. We have a calendar if you prefer to see things relative to date. Some of those dates have more than one Founders Live event because we got a lot of cities they're going to all want to do on a Wednesday or Thursday. Then we just have a straight up list. You can click through to any of these and hit our event listing. Most of our events are free. You can show up and attend for no cost. A more mature city like Seattle, where there's so much demand and limited space, at some point we introduce a ticketing price. That just kind of like is what we got to do there because that's just that city. But most cities you can get in for free. So you can see there scrolling through the whole list of them. And then I think at the very bottom we have some online events that you can look back at, some center stages. A couple other, that's forward looking ones. Okay, cool. And then there's the recent online events. Buenos Aires, for example, they did their own little live stream, kind of a test to see how it worked. Went pretty well. Good view of the screen. Tune in there. And if you can speak Spanish, you can hear some really good pitches. So that's our events hub. And check it out anytime that you want to see Founders Live events. Get your tickets, get your links to live streams. One other place to find events is Eventbrite. You can search Founders Live. We're there. You can subscribe to us there. One more place in our Discord. It's called The Arena. We list events in there as well. Lots of ways to find us. Whatever works, wherever you are, look us up and tune in and find something happening in your community.
Awesome. So, thanks for walking through all that.
And as we said, you could scroll back in the chat. If you don't have one that you can visit in person, and you want to help launch a city, maybe even lead that city, founderslive.com/expand. There should be a clickable link in the chat. If you arrived late and can't see that, founderslive.com/expand is pretty easy to remember. You can fill out a form on the page and let us know that you're interested in helping Founders Live come to your area of the world and bringing this kind of community experience to your town. Let founders and people connect. It's a great thing. So we can help you with that.
Well done, my friend. Well done, my friend. Yeah.
Taking a peek at this tiny little thumbnail of our stage experience, and I think they're getting close. Logan's looking at the keyboard on one of our feeds here in the green room. We're getting there. We're almost there.
We got some people. They're just hanging out. Yeah. You may or may not know you're on camera, guys, but it's always fun to be at this moment, and they're just about getting ready. So, Luis, what we'll do is we're going to test out. We're going to turn on the audio, see where we're at with all that.
Okay.
So, with us, everyone, and let's just kind of see where we go. We're going to dial it in here, all right?
So the audience actually votes for the winners of this competition. So
sounds like they're doing the intros.
QR code, we go ahead. Andrew's going to pass around so that you can scan on your phone and be prepared. We're also going to have right on the top a QR code for you to scan. So if you prefer to have that method over the paper because of status, go for it. You can do that sort of thing.
All right, so Luis,
it's really important.
We'll be right here, everyone.
Okay.
Let's have a really good fun time here. This is our first event with Founders Live. Let's celebrate entrepreneurship, celebrate these startups that are talking tonight, and then afterwards, let's continue with the conversations. Continue speaking. Go over to Tabernas, have some drinks and some tacos, and again, let's continue the Vegas entrepreneur heat streak that's been going on for the past a year. And have some fun. I think I don't want to say it over and over again. Why am I going to say it? Because I'm the one dressed like a lounge singer for this event. I figured if we have a global audience, my God, I'm going to show them what Las Vegas is all about. I might sing, I might not. I haven't decided on that point yet. But otherwise, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for supporting Tech Alley, supporting Startup MV, supporting Founders Live, supporting each other, supporting people interested in engaging the Vegas tech and entrepreneur scene, the ecosystem that's going here in Las Vegas. We have 2 minutes and we're going to start. So let's get ready to show a lot of support and a lot of energy, and we'll get things going. What's that? I might. You know Las Vegas. There's only one I think loungy song that I know, and that's the Love Boat. Does anybody here know the Love Boat? That is like every time I hear it, I went on a cruise for the summer, and the Love Boat was on. Like binge watched it probably for 3 or 4 days while I was on the cruise ship, and I love that song. And it's very. I think that's why I dressed up like a lounge singer, because I'm like, that guy who was singing that has the voice of an angel, and I want to do that. So anybody know the song? Love, exciting and new. Come on, join me. Wow. That's right. That's it. Next team, they gotta go. You, the love boat. Da da da. So there you go. Love that thing. So what do we got? We got 1 minute. I think we're ready to get ready to start. Are we ready? We ready there in Seattle?
I think we are. Look at the comments. I'm going to go ahead and share our presentation.
All right. I think we might be ready. 7 o'clock. I'll call it on the dot.
There we are.
All right.
I will say that speakers, make sure we stand here, and there might be an echo. I'll monitor on my end for the next. But stand within the green line if you're speaking.
So, and the reason why is this microphone here is what is actually being broadcast through the live stream. So this is what the audience here, this is what the world hears from here. So here we are. Welcome to Founders Live, presented by Tech Alley and Logan with Startup NV. We put this together, and I know I talked about this a little bit earlier, but we put this together because why not? Why don't, if there's an opportunity which Founders Live presented to us to showcase Las Vegas to the world, Las Vegas entrepreneurs and startups to the world, it has to be done, right? We're all busy, but we made sure that this event could happen, and we're super excited that you're part of this. Taking the busy part of your guys' day to celebrate entrepreneurism, to celebrate startups, to represent Las Vegas to the world, and to cheer on these 5 founders that are about to come up here and give 99 seconds of their speech. 99 seconds. I mean, 99 seconds to tell you about their company. That's not easy. That's that. When I talk about elevator pitch, that's an elevator pitch.
You gotta stand closer, stand like right, perfect, right there. Always be behind this mic.
That's why you're the boss here, Logan. Thank you so much. So anyway, let me talk a little bit about Founders Live so we can get to the good stuff. So Founders Live, again, is a premier startup pitch competition. They have chapters and events throughout the world, and on a monthly basis, they these city leaders that they have within their group host these events similar to like this, and then once a year, a city can be highlighted what they call center stage. Center stage, so in order to highlight to the world what's going on. I'll go through these slides real quick, but you can really see that Founders Live does a tremendous amount. I say they fit well within the ideals that again Tech Alley is about, what Startup NV is about, Startup Top Vegas, and all of the really exciting event hosts that and organizations that are doing neat things here in Las Vegas, because it's all about sharing knowledge, giving people opportunity, and engaging the community. You can see I talked about their monthly events. You can see their mission as they go here. They started in Seattle. I don't know. I love Seattle. Anybody here been to Seattle? Yeah, I love Seattle, especially in the summer. Winter, very rainy, but summers it's gorgeous. But again, they're expanding around the world. They're doing a lot of good things. I'm excited that they're here in Vegas, and you can see that they're an exciting group. But now we'll get to the fun stuff. We'll get to what's actually going to be presented and so on. So I did want to talk about Tech Alley, and as you know, Tech Alley is an organization here in Las Vegas that runs an event that's whole focus is bringing the tech and startup community together. We're proud sponsors and supporters of this event. We're excited to be working with a few groups, and I want to bring them up here to get some acknowledgement that, again, are big players and big supporters of the tech ecosystem here. And so right away, I want to bring up Liz Lopez from the city of Las Vegas. Everybody. I would be shocked if you don't know Liz. Liz has the pulse on everything going on here in Las Vegas, the ecosystem. And in fact, when we were first starting Tech Alley, it was Liz and I who were walking around this area asking venue spots, hey, can we host this event called Tech Alley around, and trying to explain it to them. So I really appreciate your support for the tech scene and your continued support for ensuring that Vegas is on the map when it comes to entrepreneurism. Absolutely. So I guess here's where you stand, and here's your microphone.
Well, welcome everybody to fabulous Las Vegas. Thank you for everybody for coming out today, and for everybody across the globe streaming live. I just want to share some important information for you, because Las Vegas is one of the fastest growing startup communities in the nation currently. And we are so happy to host this Founders Live event, co-host this event with Tech Alley and Startup NV, and making sure that Las Vegas continues to remain one of the fastest growing startup communities in the nation. So I just want to know, did you know that Las Vegas is one of the best places to actually start a business? We actually have one of the most business friendliest climates in the nation. So you have this huge exodus from California coming in to Las Vegas, making Las Vegas home, getting involved in the community and all the community efforts. And we're super excited to be able to support this ecosystem here. And not only that, but we are actually home to over 1,000 startups. I know it's kind of hard to believe, but we have a tracking system that's actually tracking all the startups that are coming to Las Vegas, expanding growing, doing capital raise fundraising. And it's very, very exciting to be a big part of that and to be able to support that. So not only that, we are home to 2 international innovation centers that actually support startups here in the downtown area. We just opened our 2nd location at the Herbert here in the Arts District. And if you guys ever want a tour or want to come check out what's going on, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to showcase what Las Vegas has to offer. As we are like innovators, we are creators, we are thought leaders, and we are progressing forward and making sure Las Vegas continues to have a place in innovation and support for our startup community. So I just want to also recognize everybody for coming in today and for Founders Live for having this event and being able to air nationally. I think this is a big deal. I think the vision of Las Vegas is grand, and I think we have a big place in innovation, and we could continue to support each other and collaborate because that's what Las Vegas is all about. So I'm so happy to call Las Vegas home, and I hope you are as well. Thank you all for coming out tonight, and I want to thank especially Josh Leavitt and Logan Brown, because I know you guys have worked so hard to build the Las Vegas community, and they are some of the best collaborators here in town. So you are in good hands, and I want to give you a hand. Thank you so much. And please let me know if you have any questions about growing your business, supporting your business, and making sure you're part of the ecosystem here in Las Vegas, because that's what we're all about. We're thought leaders, we're creators, we're innovators, and we're collaborators. Thank you, everybody.
Very good. And I also want to thank the Vegas Theater Co. That's where we are, a nonprofit theater. Again, big supporters of the tech and startup community. Not only do they really support the arts and act as a champion for the arts, but they also are a great place to hold venues just like this, to hold events, and so on. So if there's ever an opportunity to support, again, a nonprofit, a big staple in the community here in the Arts District, definitely say thank you and meet with the people here at Las Vegas Theater Co. And I want to bring somebody else up, another big supporter of the tech and startup scene, somebody that we went to, we were the first businesses that we went to here when we were starting Tech Alley in the Arts District, and he immediately said, "Of course, let's be part of this." I think we started probably Tech Alley right when his establishment started as well. So I want to bring up Jeff here from Taverna Costera, a phenomenal restaurant, a great place to hang out, great drink, and really, I think, becoming the center of the tech and startup community here in Las Vegas. So Jeff, here you go.
Hi. I wasn't really expecting to, actually say hi to anybody today. I was not really dressed for any occasion in particular other than the gym. But, I remember last April, that's when Josh and Liz came by. We weren't even opening yet. We didn't have our furniture, and it was the shelf. They were going door to door, and they were talking about this concept for Tech Alley. And I said, yeah, this is exactly what I want to do here, is build a community. So right next door is Taverna Costera. It's a restaurant, coffee shop, a rooftop bar, and an event space. It's modeled after a large-scale casino project, but without the casino. And so what we have is we showcase local artists. We have all local artists. We showcase new artists every month. We also have, it's also a music center. So we open at a time when there really weren't a lot of live entertainment venues. This is last summer, right? So we're basically the game, and all of a sudden, the rest of the town's opening up. But the idea is to showcase local musicians, showcase local artists, and I really like the idea of it just being a showcase for the local tech scene. So I love having these guys. The first Tech Alley was last May. There's maybe 30, 40 people, and all of a sudden we're up to 70, 80, sometimes 100 plus people every month. It's my favorite event every month, and now we're starting to have these launch parties, which is also it's exactly what we're here for. So I just want to thank Josh and Liz and Tech Alley and Logan as well. I just love having you guys here, and I see all the familiar faces, and everybody else elsewhere. But thank you.
And here's the unique thing: you go to events, and it's sometimes it's pizza, sometimes it's I say the normal food sandwiches and so on. But Taverna, look at the spread they give us, right? They're always taking good care of us with the top quality of foods. I think it's one of the highlights of the event is really the foods, the coffee, the drinks, afterwards, and again the space is absolutely gorgeous. So thank you so much, Jeff, for again supporting us from day one. So finally, the person you've all been waiting for, the entrepreneur advisor of all entrepreneur advisor community, advocate of all community advocates. I'm excited to introduce Logan Brown with Startup Nevada.
Thanks, Josh. All right, everyone. Really awesome to have you all out here. We're happy to be kind of supporting this effort. Me as just not only Startup MV, but me as a community engager, someone who wants to be involved in this. I am an entrepreneur at my core, so it's really a pleasure to see all these wonderful ventures come to light that I didn't have part of, but I get to be next to and see their progression. And this is one of those events. So today, I will talk a little bit about Startup MV. Broadly speaking, we provide capital and resources to Nevada-based startups. So we provide accelerator resources, incubator resources. Starting October 11th, we will have our Entrepreneur Bootcamp, which will be basically raising capital 101 for anyone that's considering starting or raising a venture or scaling a venture. So please look out for that on our social media and our email, or follow us or subscribe to us. We'll be sending information. That is a free bootcamp with executive founders, investors, business experts. We talk about how to scale your startup, but also what investors, specifically early stage or angel investors, want to see in a venture if they're going to fund it, which I know is on the forefront of a lot of your entrepreneurial minds. Not only that, but we invest in startups. And I am happy to announce that our team has just founded a new $10 to $15 million fund to invest in a little bit later stage scaling startups from Nevada and regional to Nevada, and from underrepresented groups. So we're really excited to bring that to bear. That's the 1864 Fund. You guys can find out more information about that at 1864.fund, or you can navigate through our website. Again, we're broadly here to see what we can do to provide resources and capital to mostly Nevada-based startups, which has been a historically underserved group. I think even the most successful Nevada-based startup, Influential, raised most of its capital from outside of Nevada, which is wonderful that they were domiciled here, and one of the co-founders is with us today. But we want to change the dynamic and see what resources we can bring to bear from this state, and get the entrepreneurs engaged in this state, and see what we can do to make this a tech and startup hub in as much capacity as we can. Now, with that being said, enough about me, but I'm going to talk about what Founders Live is going to do. So thank you, Founders Live, for putting this on, and everyone tuning in from online. So this is a little bit of a different pitch format. So our founders, we have 5 of them today from 5 various Nevada-based startups with really exciting concepts. They're going to have a 99-second pitch. And from there, they're going to be allowed 4 minutes of Q&A from the audience. We'll do our best to pass this mic around. Now, at the end of this, we will vote. There will be a vote in the questionnaire on these startups. Everything from what do you think, where would you place them, would you be, it's not a solicitation, but would you invest if you could or if you wanted to? So this is really kind of interesting perspective to get live feedback from a large audience on the venture itself. And I think it's going to be a pretty close call because we've got some pretty neat things stacked for you today. I will say to those that are speaking, and I'll list out the startups and introductions that come up, make sure you stay behind this microphone so the online audience can hear you. You'll see these 2 green pieces of tape here. So this is your boundary. I know a couple of you are very good public speakers and you like to wander around a little bit. I'm looking at you, Paul. So make sure you're staying right around this area so the online audience and the Founders Live audience can tune in and enjoy these pitches as well. Without much further ado, thank you all. Logan Brown from Startup MV. Please check us out and check out our upcoming, stay tuned for our upcoming bootcamp. But I'll also introduce Paul Hlatky from Revonate. Josh, did you have any final words before we good to go? All right, everyone, I'm going to introduce Showtime. Here's our Paul Hlatky from Revonate. We will then have Dan Steele from Let's Rolo. And we will have then Shannon Wilkinson from Tego Cyber. And Marta Venture from Safe Harbor. And then, we have done seeing photos there. We'll have Dr. Ephraim Akuve from Hutano, who will then cap us off. With that, we're really excited too, and we'll pass it off to Paul here. There we go. And
Is the clock starting, or when is
That's what I'm going to get going here, and I'll just start clapping. I'll start clapping at like the 3+ minute mark, and we'll be good to go.
Gang. All right. I'll just introduce myself and not make it awkward. My name's Paul Hlatky. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Revonate. Our tagline is revenue automation for remodelers. I'll just roll into it. As you might know, there isn't enough skilled labor to keep up with the demand for renovations. But even still, 64% of construction companies fail within their first 5 years of business. There's a lot of reasons for this, but one of the underlying ones is that they resist technology, except for social media and other consumer convenience apps that help them avoid paperwork for tax and accounting purposes. Revonate exists to benefit the income, productivity, and perception of tradespeople. There's a new way of building with Revonate. We give you real-time profit insights, project details that you can share with other stakeholders, and expense management with QuickBooks. This benefits everything that they're doing. Instead of manual ad hoc payments, we automate them. Instead of them figuring out how to get a business degree from UNLV, we take care of it for them. They're not flipping coins anymore. They're not guesstimating their forecasts. Revonate is helping them make data-driven business decisions. And our project summary and details is a page that they can actually share with subcontractors, with suppliers, with their end clients, introducing natural network effects into our solution and our business model. So thank you. This is Revonate. Join us and build on your terms.
Well done. Seconds to spare, and we will start with 4 minutes of Q&A from the audience. And please project. I'll do my best to run the microphone around a little bit, but I think actually the way that
I don't think I need it. If this is what matters, I can project.
All right, we'll do it. All right, go. Questions at all? Yes, sir, up in the corner.
How do you plan to market to builder renovators?
The question was, how do you plan to market to builders and contractors?
Honestly, not much. We're going to leverage referrals from our builders and our own relationships. One of my co-founders is a serial entrepreneur in the construction business world. He's an MIT alum, and we have a great network of builders all over the country and Latin America. But frankly, a lot of what we aim to do is give them such a great experience that they start sharing us with their subcontractors. And as you may know, in construction, it's a very incestuous system, right? We like to say there's like existing analog systems of these construction hubs all over the world. We're just digitizing it, increasing their productivity, increasing their income, their perception, and then they make more money, we make more money. Everyone's happy. Yeah.
What is the onboarding process for a non-technical tradesman into your system?
No, the question was, what is the onboarding system for a non-technical tradesman? And in fact, I'll let this
sure.
So you can do that.
So an onboarding system basically is they integrate with, we use providers like Plaid and Stripe, and we integrate with QuickBooks. So we do our best to ingest whatever historical information they get to give them. Basically with Plaid, you get the last 24 months of transaction history. We give them a year-over-year profit and loss statement, which sounds like table stakes and silly, but literally for these guys, it's the first time that they're seeing a real-time revenue report. Most often, they're not getting that type of insight until they do their taxes at the end of the year. Yes?
Who's your top 2 or 3 competitors that already exist, and what makes you different?
Great question. We have many competitors. We have folks, incumbents like House and Angie's that are multi-billion-dollar behemoths. We have smaller startups like Brick, who I think they changed their name, or Handle, unless they pivoted or something, that just focus on payments. And then we have folks like Made and Block Renovation that are effectively being the front office on behalf of their GC partners, specializing in certain project types. In short, what we do better than all of them is we actually help elevate the tradesperson and make their business make more money. We're not making our business make more money. We're making their business make more money. And I can speak to how that affects a business model like Angie's or House for like lead generation, or a business model like Brick or Handle or one of these other guys that were in YC and do payments. But in short, folks use us because we're easy to use, we have profit insights, and we're also bilingual. We're English and Spanish, so they can easily share it with their other contractors, suppliers, and stakeholders. Yes?
For someone who's around when there's no such thing in the auto industry, what about certification? What about getting the person some way to know that the forms when they come out not dry?
So I'll try to make that question a bit more succinct. Basically, quality control. How do you make sure that the contractors actually do what they say they're going to do? Certification. So that's actually a great opportunity for Revonate. I'm glad you asked that question. There's over 20 states in the US that don't actually require a license or certification for contractors. States like Texas and Idaho that are more than likely going to be great markets for Revonate, who can verify as that third party provider.
All right, everyone, give it up for Paul Hlatky for Revonate.
That's on the screen for everybody.
Bear with us for a moment. We're going to get this set up, and then we'll get going.
Yeah, do a job.
I know they do a stand-up comedy.
I don't want to get canceled.
Don't let that happen.
I can just try to go through it without the notes. Yeah, this is like, it's an 8-minute pitch that I brought down to 99 seconds. I'll be fine. No, just not really clean. All right.
Without further ado, this is Dan Steele from Rolo. You all should get your phones out because you probably have to scan something here. Let's replace your business cards.
We have some audience participation at the end. All right, my name is Dan Steele. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Rolo, the world's first MicroCRM. What can you do with MicroCRM? A ton of things, but I only have 99 seconds. So I'm going to give you one example using fictional characters. This is Sally on a Friday after a long week at a trade show. She has a pocket full of business cards. Some of them are bent and broken, and the notes that she wrote are wearing off. Even worse, she has contacts that she put in her phone with no way to sort them. She's looking for one person, for the life of her, can't find their information. And this is Dana. She went to the same trade show and used Rolo. When she arrived at the show, she had a business card in her phone's wallet. Every time she made a new contact, she received a text with a link to add information about her new contact, like where they met and what she wants to follow up about. Every morning, she gets a digest of all of her new contacts where she's able to easily follow up or add notes that she may have missed or follow up directly from her inbox without leaving a native email experience. She's also able to access Rolo's dashboard at any time where she can search her contacts or export them to her favorite CRM. Dana's boss loves Rolo because she's able to watch data generate leads in real time, and the marketing team loves Rolo because all of her contacts are automatically brought into their CRM, so they're able to start marketing to the person on the trade show floor. This isn't our first time founding a venture-backed company. Peter and I have been working together for 10 years. At Influential, we built the category-defining company. We raised $40 million to build a bicoastal organization of over 100 employees. PitchBook called us the most valuable startup in Nevada for a while, and today it's the biggest influencer marketing company in the world. And we're out to do it again. We actually, while we were working on product market fit, we just signed a contract for $48,000 in ARR. Can't say who it was, but somebody from that company was here tonight. And we got the PO today. We're raising $300,000. We've brought in 135 of it so far, 85 coming from the state maybe. And Again, my name's Dan Steele. Please pull out your phone and connect with me, and you'll be able to see how our product works as well.
Give it up for Dan Steele from Rolo. Dan, that was excellent. Thank you. All right, we are opening this up for questions now from the audience, and I will try to pass this mic around to those that I can, but please.
How much is it for somebody to sign up?
So right now we're only doing enterprise. We started with just like an MVP where you can scan a code and it goes in the dashboard, then we export it to HubSpot. And with this new contract, we had to build in a Teams feature where you can manage users and all that cool stuff that I was talking about Dana's boss doing. We worked on that over the summer and just shipped that. So we're adding in payment integration. We want to get a little more traction and just make the product more valuable to an individual user. We have a partnership with a company that does, they give you an address for your business and a phone number for your business, and then an office space all over the country. So they're going to start onboarding customers when they set up their new phone number. I think that's when we'll start integrating, and it'll probably be about $10 a month.
Do you still have a closed beta for the Las Vegas community?
Oh, absolutely. It'll always be free for you, Marta.
Any other questions? I guess questions like, how are you marketing? So this is kind of the MicroCRM. It's very good for like conference goers, networkers, people, for salespeople. Are you guys going to market this broadly? Are you guys going to go to conferences? How are you getting the word out?
So we have home field advantage, right? We have access to all of the conferences here. Now that we have the Teams function, we can actually make money off of it. We'll start sending promo models, I think they're called, to the trade shows and onboarding new users. It's interesting to watch it grow because even like it's 110 degrees today. It's been hot all month and I haven't left the house. It's been mostly just Peter and I getting it out there, and it's actually growing faster this month, even though we haven't been going out very much. So it's like getting that viral traction.
Thank you. Yeah. Next up, we have Shannon Wilkinson from Tego Cyber, and she'll be give up for Shannon.
Actually, I just need to throw up the one slide, so I don't need the clicker.
One moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close a couple of windows so we have some proper video. We know the online audience is.
Hello, online audience.
Right. And we're back good. All right. Good.
Fantastic. Thank you, Logan. So I'm Shannon Wilkinson. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Tego Cyber, Inc. What Tego Cyber, Inc. is a software as a service company in the cybersecurity industry. We have a threat correlation engine that bridges data between cybersecurity controls like firewalls, antivirus, computer logins, as well as email logs. And then using threat intelligence, we correlate the information and the threats to identify where customers have exposure to threats. The top challenge for other companies in this space is keeping up with the pace of attackers who are constantly changing their infrastructure to avoid being caught. Tego stitches together an investigative time frame using automation and correlation so that security operations teams can respond faster and eradicate threat actors in minutes rather than months. A more technical explanation of what we do is that we have developed a threat hunting and threat correlation engine that integrates into Splunk and other SIEM platforms. Not only do customers get real-time threat intelligence, but Tego's platform runs recursive searches to find threats at the time they were weaponized and creates a timeline of exposure. Tego reduces the threat dwell time as well as enables security operations teams to have decreased time to detection and remediation by identifying the threats as well as the assets that are affected. Our target market is the mid to large enterprise that have security operations teams that would benefit from automated threat correlation, giving them visibility into threats that they would otherwise not find without our platform. We have real-world examples from the Fortune 500 of threats that would not have been seen without Tego's threat correlation engine.
All right, everyone give it up for Shannon. Thank you so much. And with that, cybersecurity is a pretty hot topic right now with a bunch of things going on. With that, we're going to open it up for our 4 minutes of Q&A. Please, from the audience, up there, project, please. I can't have a mic over there.
I also do cybersecurity at a company that does that. So do you detect like new vulnerabilities in 0 days, or you mainly just like get the common vulnerability exploits and kind of look for them, like more established vulnerabilities?
We do.
Shannon, can you repeat that for the online audience?
Sorry. So yes, for the online audience, the question was, do we help detect 0 days, or do we just find things that are known to be existing? And I would say we do a bit of both through our correlation engine and our automated threat hunting. So of course, we have the existing lists of the open source as well as the other threat intelligence that we purchase that goes through, IP addresses, domains, URLs, file hashes, doing the automated correlation on that. But we also do partner with a variety of different cybersecurity companies to try to identify the vulnerabilities. We're also, always looking at the CVE database, providing that information to the customers and adding that to our threat correlation engine as it comes out. So we try to combine everything and automate so that security operations teams really have a chance to stop threat actors before they launch attacks. I don't know, actually, if you guys know, but the average time that a threat actor is within a customer environment, it used to be about 280 days, where they would be going and probing and finding what they could have access to. But with Tego, we're able to find those threat actors within the customer's environment very quickly. And we're actually able to find the threat actors before they can launch attacks through our threat correlation engine.
Who's your ideal client?
So mid to large enterprises that have security operations teams. There's also managed security service providers, or MSSPs, that we're partnering with now. So really, like I said, it's anybody that would benefit from automation to find threats within the environments faster. Yes, sir. And sorry, I actually can't see with the lights, so might have to wave. But.
One of the problems is that somebody who's already got a security team knows the security issues. And one of the things that came out of Black Hat is the people who really get screwed are the ones who don't find out until after they find out. How do you get in front of that?
Right. So that's exactly what Tego is designed to do. It's designed to find the threat actors within the environments before they launch the attack. So the automated threat hunting, because like I said, threat actors are typically spending time doing research and reconnaissance within customer environments before they actually launch attacks. So the security operations team has a small window of time after a breach to actually stop the attack from occurring. So I know the big buzzword within cybersecurity that probably many of you have heard is ransomware. Ransomware actors typically breach an organization and then spend some time digging around. What data can I steal? What can I get access to? How can I build a backdoor so I can get in later after I get caught? And that is the time that the security operations team has to catch them and kick them out.
How does it work and get in front of threat?
Okay.
And this will be the last question.
So what we've done is that we've built on top of security tools that security operations teams are already using called SIM platforms. That stands for Security Information Event Monitoring. This is the tool that the security operations team is constantly looking at on a daily basis. What the SIM platform does is it brings in all the logs from the organization. Like I said, firewall, antivirus, computer logs, your email logs, all that information is being piped into the SIM platform. With Tego, we take our threat intelligence database and we run automated queries against all that log data for the organization against threat intelligence to find the threats within the organization. So it's really running a bunch of queries, finding the bad guys, and then alerting the security operations center.
All right, thank you, Shannon. All right, next up we have Art of Enter from Safe Harbor. So we're really excited for this.
All right, thanks, Logan.
Thank you all. So my name is Marta. Thank you all for coming. I've met a lot of you before, and we're at a great inflection point with our progress here in Safe Harbor. So it's a wonderful time to talk. What we make is electronic lockers, like which you've all seen for package pickup and buy online and pick up in store at mass retail and everywhere. And now we've launched our back-end middleware controlling software that allows these lockers to be used in a regulatory space like cannabis. So we sell B2B dispensaries as an upfront hardware sale coupled with a software subscription like an iPhone or Android phone, anything that comes with a connectivity plan. And that's our recurring revenue stream. We're booking our first revenue on September 1st. So we're really happy about that, but clients will increase their margins through reduced employee costs and boosted sales volume, all through automation efficiency like many of the other companies here. We're based in Vegas. My co-founder, Lindsay, and I moved here about 2 years ago, became involved in Startup Nevada last year, and it's been game-changing for us. We moved here at first to partner with our factory, which is in North Las Vegas. They're specialized in slot machines and regulated device technology. So it's a perfect fit for us, and we're proud to make American-made, engineered hardware and software. At heart, our company is all about access. For the consumer, it's access to more convenient cannabis pickup. This is now an essential medicine that was deemed as such during COVID. And so we're here to make it a consistent supply chain on the consumer side. For operators, it gives access to a better line, reduced payroll, and more efficiency across the board, bringing the retail operations in cannabis up to the point where they are in mass retail today. And for the state, it gives access to more taxable sales. In 2021, Nevada booked nearly $700 million, almost 160,000 going to the state school fund for public education. So this is something that our state's really using to fund social services. We're here to drive revenue for operators, convenience and access for patients and consumers. And for the businesses involved in our state and across the board, it's all about the bottom line.
Thank you so much, Marta. Everyone, Safe Harbor. Alrighty, and with that, we will open this up to questions at the top. If you can project, then I'll repeat the question for the audience online.
Okay, I'll project as much as possible. How are you handling the hardware rollout of the locker systems? Are you working with a third-party company that has subcontractors, or are you working with your own staff in the, say, Clark County area to install your units?
Excellent question. For those attending online, the question is, how are you handling the rollout of the hardware, and are you working with a third-party vendor to bring that hardware to bear?
So right now, we've just completed our pilot in Nevada, and that was a single locker deployment to store on Blue Diamond Road. You can all go and experience a live transaction there. It's PIN debit, card present. For the hardware, as we approach our national sales strategy, we're really focused in terms of marketing on a real estate investment trust that has multiple facilities per state. So we're going to work with one of the major operators that has a presence in multiple states nationwide. That's really going to streamline our rollout. And we have models that install, this one is in-wall. Ideally, for best use case, we install in-wall while the operator's in the design build phase. So we work with their general contractors to get a stamp of approval during the final compliance walkthrough. That means that the locker is part of the wall, and so it's actually an inventory vault that separates restricted space. We also have a front-loading model that can go for operators that have limited store space or are already in operation, and that's a standalone design. And so that deployment's a lot simpler. Either way, we're based out of our factory, like I said, here in Las Vegas, and we'll work with their install teams to deploy nationwide.
Excellent. Next question. Yes, sir, over there.
Is your installation inside or outside?
And the question was, is the installation inside or outside?
Well, because we really face a regulatory challenge to get this approved, because it upends the way the regulations were originally written, and that which require a human at the point of transaction. So this is automated self-checkout machine. For that reason, we are starting and going slow, first on the licensed retail floor of cannabis dispensaries, And we'll edge our way outside of the perimeter through a proven use case that demonstrates value add for the state and the operators. So, meanwhile, at the beginning, our machines are installed, like I said, in wall in between a secure fulfillment area and the dispensary retail floor. We're working with some groups on proposals to put them on an exterior facing wall with a roll-up door, like a bodega in Brooklyn. And that would only be open when there's a licensed security guard there to grant access to the machine with a visual ID check. In the future, we look to expand this footprint to increase access across the board.
Thank you.
What is your life cycle? Does the client buy the cannabis and then it is delivered, or is it delivered once a day? What is the life cycle from the transaction of the customer to when they pick up?
The question is, what can you describe to us the life cycle of your customer? Where do they start their journey, and then where does it end with Safe Harbor?
Yeah, definitely a great question. So our customer is these are B2B sales. So we sell to the dispensary. For the end user customer, they're going to order on their phone at home or in their car, or even when they get to the dispensary at a kiosk. Same as the way that pre-order works right now. There's major operators like Dutchie and iHeartJane, which we integrate through. So this is all driven, the efficiency, through our API, and we grab the information we need from the pre-order process that's already in place. We integrate with the dispensary's existing tech stack to be able to process the e-com side, send that information to point of sale, process a PIN debit payment that is unattended, and then loop that back to close the transaction loop.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That's all the questions we are after today. We'll get Marta a little bit later. So thank you so much, Marta from Safe Harbor. All right. Next, we have Dr. Efrem Makuve from Hutano Health, or Hutano? Yeah, either way. Yeah, that one. Yes. And here, this guy. Right.
Is that what you're doing? This is Vegas, like.
Right. Woo, let's go.
I got it.
All right, without much further ado, Efrem Makuve, Hutano.
All right. So, my name is Efrem Makuve. I am the CEO and founder of Hutano, kind of the company that's making it easy for people to find healthcare providers and book appointments. So, old habits die hard, which is true when it comes to healthcare and its love for paper and old technology. If you're a patient, you might have avoided going to the doctor because of all the paperwork and phone calls involved. It can be so repetitive. Having to write your date of birth 3 times on 3 different forms is enough to make anyone want to stay home. With Hutano, what you enter once is carried from provider to provider and visit to visit. You don't even have to remember all the medications you're taking, because Hutano keeps all that information saved for your next visit. And if anything changes, say a medication is discontinued or reviewed, the record of who made that change, when, and why is kept for all future visits. Hutano has created a platform that streamlines your worst healthcare nightmares. Now you can find a healthcare provider, verify if they take your insurance, and see all the out-of-pocket costs, fill out all the paperwork using one app. Living in Zimbabwe, healthcare was broken because of a shortage of healthcare providers. Moving to the US, healthcare is painfully inefficient. So healthcare providers are constantly struggling to balance providing quality patient care and administrative healthcare costs. Well, healthcare costs alone take up 60% of providers' productive time. One problem: documentation. Now, because Hutano's intake is digital, we take the information input by the patient and transfer it into the provider's documentation, saving at least 15% on documentation time. Hutano providers work less and impact more patients while providing a better healthcare experience. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you. All right, now we have 4 minutes of questions for Hutano. So,
Is Hutano an EMR system?
Ooh, good question. Is for the audience on there, is Hutano a electronic medical record system?
So Hutano has an integrated electronic medical system in it. So as I said, what makes it different is I actually had to reinvent the EMR system as it stands. Most EMRs are there to store data. They're not really designed for user friendliness. So what we did is when you go to a doctor's office, you typically have to fill out a bunch of forms. All that information that you put in that form usually has to be transcribed by somebody who then gives it to the doctor, who then types it into the computer. What we did was take away all those steps. What you put into the system using our intake form online goes directly into the provider's documentation. That's our EMR. What our EMR does is it basically takes out all the redundancy that's associated with the biggest cost in healthcare, which is documentation and all the administrative costs in the behind. So yes, there is an EMR that's attached to it.
How do you deal with HIPAA regulations?
So HIPAA simplified, the P in HIPAA stands for portability. What it all says is that I cannot take your information and give it to somebody else. Our database and our entire application was built with that in mind. You're the only person and your provider that can see your data, and only the person that's given permission by you can see your data. So that's how we stay compliant with HIPAA.
So do you also register hospital visits, and then your PCP can see that when the hospital is got medication, anything like that?
So in the beginning, our main client are primary care providers. This is the gateway to healthcare. So these are the people in the outpatient facilities. Eventually, we will get into enterprise facilities like hospitals. But for now, you'll be able to see anyone in the outpatient settings, all their notes and the number of visits that you've had and the quality of care that you've gotten from each one of those.
Excellent question. We're going to go to here, and then that'll be our last question over there. Sir.
Are you bound by HIPAA as someone who's not actually providing medical care? Are you actually bound by HIPAA?
Ooh.
Or are you doing it elective as an elective?
That's an excellent question. So as a service provider, yes, we are bound by HIPAA. What we cannot do as a company is disclose any information regarding anybody on the platform to anyone for any reason, except for cases where it's legally allowed for us to do so. So in other words, we are a neutral party in this in all this. If you have any data that's sitting on Hutano, the only people that can see it are the patient and the healthcare provider who's seeing that patient. So that's where we kind of stay on the right side of the law of HIPAA.
Good question. Yes, sir.
So I built the EMR platform like 20 years ago, and there was a lot of problems, which was inside internal offices, they're very hell-bent on their method, their way, or their software. Right?
Correct.
So first question is who are you integrated with already? And so in other words, how do you connect? And what issues do you foresee having trying to get the facility to allow you to interact with them? Because you said that they're going to do updated notes and things back and forth. So who are you integrated with, and how do you get the facility to actually connect?
That's a good question for the online audience. The question was, who are they currently integrating with on the electronic medical records side? But also, how are you getting into and selling to local practitioners, local clinicians who are pretty hell-bent on maintaining a status quo with the technology and the current systems they use?
Okay, so to answer your first question, I'll go back to technology. I'm a technologist, and I also happen to be a provider. So I wear two hats when it comes to this. One of the biggest problems we have with the current EMRs is that it is very difficult to parse any data out of it. That's because of copying and pasting, dictating. People have different accents like myself. So anything that you find in any EMR software is not going to be viable for any AI to be on it. So what we did was reinvent it completely from the beginning. So every piece of data that we have, you can query against, and you can actually apply AI to it. So that's the first part. That means we actually really, it's in our worst interest to go out and integrate with anybody, because all we're doing is just bringing in bad data into a system that we believe needs to bring out good data in the future so that we can actually guide treatment using our EMR. Your second question is, yes, this is our biggest challenge. People are already using another product. We have to convince them that whatever they're using is not as good as what we're using. So we all know, every founder here, this is our toughest part of the problem, right? So here's how we are attacking this problem. We live in Vegas. There's a lot of people that come in this town, end up in, I don't know, spraining an ankle at the Bellagio because they drank too much. Most of them end up in the ER. And we found that that's money that's being left on the table because all those providers that are sitting in Las Vegas can start reaching out to those patients who would otherwise just go in and pay them cash. So the way we're reaching out to most of our providers is, would you like to see more patients who are either underinsured or uninsured? And if the answer is yes, which most of them are because they don't want to deal with the third parties and insurance because it costs them a lot of money, they're typically, yes, we'll try this. What do we have to lose? If we end up with a couple, 3 or 4 patients new that are paying us cash, that's worth our time. So that's how we're starting to get inroads in, and then we'll see how it grows from there.
Thank you all. That's all the questions we have today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to our founders. There's a lot of really neat stuff in there. Just the tip of the iceberg for what's coming out of Vegas. Nonetheless, it was a pleasure to have all of you. Thank you guys for sharing your startup. To the national and international audience we have with Founders Live, and then our attendees. Next, we actually are going to hear, before we get the vote, and you guys can all submit those anonymously, we'll have a scan code up here. We are going to hear a word from from a Founders Live sponsor who's been diligent enough to come out here to Las Vegas, or might be from Las Vegas, I'm not sure, to introduce himself, talk a little bit about what they do, and then of course in the support of Founders Live. So without much further ado, the radio team's coming here.
Thank you, Logan. I am Dave Loftus. I represent a software development consultancy based outside of Boulder. I really find a lot of affinity for this crowd, given Josh's subscription to Brad Feld's Give First ethic, and it's something that I know Brad pretty well, and it's something that I've been really grateful that he put into the world. So we're general purpose software development folks. We do everything from firmware to web applications to mobile apps, that sort of a thing. Not interesting at all. All the people who just presented are much more interesting than what I do. But we have a business model where if we are able to bill about 70% of our time, my boss lets me give away the other 30% of the 21-person team that we have. So my general offer is anybody associated with the Founders Live network. If you need some help, whether that's code review, looking at preparing for due diligence as you raise money, whether it's a thorny problem that you need, whether it's another development team. We would love to help, and we will help with a give first ethic. And other than that, let's have another round of applause for the people who aren't me who got up here.
So that's really generous. That's really excellent that you can bring that to this crowd. Again, appreciate you. All right, with that, I'm going to take my exit of emceeing this one, kick it back to our very own Josh Leavitt for Tech Alley to kind of bring this home and bring the vote home. There we go.
Logan, excellent work. Thank you so much. So this is it. This is the time to decide on the winner. So I'll give you a couple minutes to please scan either the screen here or the little piece of paper that we handed out. You're going to have 5 minutes total to make your choice. And there's some really big prizes here for the winners, not only for participants of this, but also for the winners. We'll put this on screen in a second. But yeah, give me a couple more seconds. If I was a better singer, I would really cosplay my lounge singers. I'll go this way, so I'm out of the way. My big head, I get it. Or my little chest piece here. Cool. How are we looking? Good? All right. I am going to start the time. Somewhere here it is. Let's see if this works. Oh, it doesn't. So let's schedule time over there. 5 minutes.
All right, Luis, what's going on? We are joining back. We are going to let them take a few minutes and vote. And man, what did you think there? Oh, you're on mute there, buddy. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it quiet during the presentations, man. That was cool. I liked it. It's cool to see the formula work right off the bat. 5 presenters, 99 seconds, 4 minutes of Q&A. They did a good job. The presenters showed up. They did their thing. Now the audience is voting. You know what? I need a second so I can type in the link to the LinkedIn crowd, because I don't see it appearing anywhere else. So I just want to make sure they can click on that if they can't scan it.
Awesome. Yeah, do that real quick. I'll walk through. Hey, everyone, you see this QR code right on the screen. If you haven't yet, scan that. Hold your phone, scan it. It's going to take you to a form. Fill it out real quick. We collect emails simply to verify. A vote is actually verified by email, so we have a qualification of voting there, and it's a fair vote. But take a look at that. Choose which one you thought was the best. Geez, we had a number of great pitches today. And if you look at from Revonate to Rolo, Tego Cyber, amazing pitch there. Safe Arbor, that message there. And then Hutano, just all great pitches. And Connie, thank you so much. Great topics. Yes, you are correct. All these, notice just different industries, right? Different industries. So cool in that. And Luis, you were able to post that. So if you all don't want to scan the QR code or you're having trouble, the URL there, the page is lasvegasvoting.founderslive.com. You type that in, takes you right there. So so cool, man. Anyone pop out for you? And you know, we're just keeping an eye on. Once it hits 2 minutes, you know, the 00, we'll pop them back on the screen. But I want to get your thoughts real quick. What popped out to you in these pitches? Always surprises here.
Yeah, different techniques. You know, everybody has you know, their own way of telling their story. I responded to I like Ephraim's pitch. Even though it was a little bit less of like a formulaic style pitch, he was really more conversational. I really got a sense of what they were trying to do and his personal investment. And I just kind of go for a more emotional connection to these pitches versus some kind of like checklist that I have to see everything in. I want to feel a commitment from the founder. Not that the others weren't committed, but I really felt it with Ephraim and Hutano.
Yeah. You know, it's always tough. I did feel that Tego Cyber, I enjoyed her pitch. I felt like it was a bit more information than previously when we reviewed it. I would also look at, you know, Revonate, very interesting as well. And, you know, I don't know, those are a few that kind of resonated with me. But hey, let's dive back in and see where they're at.
In first place, we have Rolo, Dan, co-founder, and Dan Steele. In second place, we have Hutano. Third place, we have Tego Cyber, Shannon Wilkinson. Fourth place, we have Revonate, Hlatky. And then Safe Arbor, Marta Venture. And I'd be remiss to not mention Lindsay Valenzi here, the co-founder of Safe Arbor, is also in attendance. So, yeah, woo! Everyone, thank you all for coming out. Winners, please we'll be in touch with you. We've got your contact information about how to redeem these, how to activate this. Everyone, thank you all for coming out. I don't know, and thank you, Founders Live, for being part of our audience here and providing this opportunity to bring the world into Las Vegas and Tech Alley and what we're doing here. And with that, I'll pass it out to Josh to kind of close us out.
That's well said. It's hard to beat. But again, thank you for the founders. Thank you for the audience. This was a ton of fun. Thank you to Founders Live. We really enjoyed the opportunity to participate in this event. We look forward to more events like this. In fact, we're always looking for a city leader. So if you know anybody that's interested in doing things like this on a monthly basis, on a regular basis, we'll be happy to get you in touch with this Founders Live. And again, let's continue representing Nevada and giving people the opportunity to share what they know. Thank you so much, everybody.
There is still food left. We will be around for a while, and we're hanging out for a while. I know it's a random Wednesday, but we're here for a while. But thank you all for coming out. Appreciate you.
And don't forget Taverna. They plan plenty.
All right, we're taking that down. Great job, everyone. So cool, Luis. Man,
yeah.
Always just it's. Look at that. Always a competition. Surprise. There you go. Rolo there with the pitch. And so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's the thing. Over how many 45 minutes a whole pitch evening, the pitch portion of the show takes, like you can kind of forget, some of the early ones when it comes down to voting. Daniel Steele had he told a good story. I can see why people voted for them. And hey, congratulations to Rolo. On to primetime, and everybody else who competed, they're still alive in our open round of the Founders Live Primetime Pitch Challenge. We'll have more information about how to get into that in the next coming weeks. We're really at the beginning of formulating this and getting everything going. We got to make a logo for this thing, but that's a heads up. That's the alpha that's going to be coming for your vote October 17th-ish. Founders can start entering around September 15th. That's what we're targeting. It's going to be a fun time. So, Nick, so what happens now if you're at a Founders Live event, you did networking, you had a pitch competition, you heard from all that stuff. What are the people doing there in Vegas at this point?
Oh, man. Again, jealous. But they're hanging out. This is, look at that, grabbing food, networking, grabbing a drink there. And hey, this is actually, notice the way, so people are now going up and chatting with the founders that just pitched. They're saying, hey, great job. I can connect you with this person. Have you thought about this? And that's the magic of Founders Live is, we have networking to begin with. We have pitches, and then we have also networking at the end. And, so people are hanging out. They're enjoying their time. And I'm a bit jealous, but we're about ready to close out for the night as well. So thank you all. And Luis, so I'm Nick Hughes, founder and CEO of Founders Live. It's been so nice to be here. Luis Antezana, I'll give you the last word, and then we are going to be done for the evening.
Well, we appreciate everybody watching. Thanks for getting a taste of what we do here at Founders Live, and look forward to our next center stage event to be announced very soon. We will have another one before the end of this season, and then it's on to primetime. So get ready for something really fun coming in November with that open tournament right beforehand.
All right. Well, thank you. We are done for the day. Enjoy, everyone, and we'll see you later.
Good night.